Hello, my name is Melinda Smith. About 10 years ago, I discovered a wonderful tool for personal and organisational transformation called the Enneagram. This introductory video is the first in a series of 10 which will help you understand a little more about this ancient tool for self-understanding and development. In a career spanning 30 years as a journalist, television presenter and communication consultant, I've been exposed to a wide range of different personality profiling tools. But the Enneagram framework explains so much more to me about myself and my interactions with others. It also gives me strategies to improve my relationships at work, at home, in business success and personal happiness. Most importantly, the Enneagram helped uncover new insights into how I could be a better version of myself through an understanding of my habitual patterning and my potential behaviours under stress. I am part of a wonderful team at Noble Works and regularly run workshops and presentations to share this learning. I spend a lot of time talking to people about this insightful tool for increased personal understanding and development of self and others. Public and private organisations are increasingly recognising the power of the Enneagram for transformational change. During this series of videos, we'll be showcasing how Port Stephens Council, an award-winning innovative local government authority in New South Wales, Australia, has successfully used this tool as part of its ongoing commitment to organisational excellence.
Hello, my name's Wayne Wallace and I'm the General Manager at Port Stephens Council. Port Stephens Council is a medium-sized local government authority located in the Hunter region of New South Wales. As an organisation, our size is around 1,000 square kilometres. We have 500 staff and we have an annual operating budget of around $120 million. So in local government New South Wales terms, we're a medium-sized organisation. As an organisation, we have been pursuing, as a means of continuous improvement in our operating model, what's known as the Australian Business Excellence Framework. 10 years ago, when we first started using this model, you'd probably say that we were a very mediocre organisation at best. For example, our finances, we were running large deficits. Our community engagement was, around or below the 50% level, meaning only 50% of our population thought we were offering any value for money type services. Our staff engagement levels were again around the 45 to 50%. We were having rampant workers' compensation claims and staff hurting themselves unnecessarily in our workplace. So 10 years ago, you might say that at Polite, we were a mediocre type organisation. Since that time, I can very happy to say that things have turned around very substantially, and really has been using the Australian Business Excellence Framework and a number of the many tools that go with it. So if you're not familiar with the Australian Business Excellence Framework, it's really around, in a nutshell, making sure that you have the right systems and processes in place, but more importantly, that you have the right people in the right sort of relationships. So we have used a number of what we might regard as innovative programs, educational programs, courses to help both sides of that equation. But the success really has been in the way that our staff have responded and how they've grown their leadership capabilities. The tool that really has made a massive impact on us in the people side of things is known as the Enneagram. And that's really a methodology of understanding your personality type to help you really gain a critical understanding of yourself and, by default, all the others in and around you. So this tool really has had a tremendous impact right across our organisation. Our metrics have significantly improved. Our community satisfaction levels are in the high 80%. Our staff engagement are likewise in the same. We've been running surpluses for the last several years. Really a massive turnaround in our whole operations. So really put it down to that amazing thing called the Enneagram. So the Enneagram is a powerful tool. It really resonates with staff and people alike. It really does help us to understand the special gifts that we have, and also into the challenges that each of us face in our day-to-day activities, our day-to-day behaviour. So once we can understand where these gifts and challenges are, identifying these blind spots, we can purposefully modify our behaviours. And then obviously if we modify our behaviours, we are less reactive to those around us, and we are more responsive to other particular people when we really understand them more deeply. So the Enneagram really does give us critical self-awareness of ourselves and others around us, and I can say that the results have been phenomenal. It really does resonate with people that go through the program and try and understand not only their own Enneagram personality type, but all the other types and their colleagues and even family and friends. So I've seen significant transformations of leadership qualities through their own personal understanding of their own behaviours and where that manifests from. And so they can modify their behaviours and be better people to be around, be better leaders. Self-aware people really can change the world, and I've seen it certainly change the workforce. And by default, I've heard and seen many stories of how family and friends have also commented on how the person is now behaving, in a much more relaxed, calm and, proactive sort of way. So it really does make a significant difference, and it is a fundamental tool under our Australian Business Excellence approach. So when we use the Enneagram, it's really important that we understand that we are not our personality type. There may be certain gifts and challenges that each of us have, and the Enneagram can identify those areas that you're more likely to exhibit when a certain situation may arise. So it's not like putting everyone in a box, even though there are generalities that the different personality types exhibit. It's for each of us to understand that we are unique, we are special, and we're not just the one sort, but we can be more mindful about those general things that can either annoy us or set us off into some sort of a habitual behaviour because that's the button that's being pushed. So as an organisation, we ensure that everyone is aware that you are not your personality type, that you are aware of some of those common gifts and challenges for the various Enneagram types, but also that you're aware of what the other behaviours are generally exhibited by the other Enneagram types. So you can have a holistic type of view and approach. One size doesn't fit all, but it's a great tool to give us some real basic pointers to where our own individual blind spots and our unique gifts are. So again, it's a tremendous tool to be used in any organisation. If anyone would like to speak to us further, particularly in the local government regime, Port Stephens Council is a really diverse organisation. We operate some 67 different types of businesses. We have a diverse range of employees that work for us, from engineers to planners to social welfare people to childcare workers to cemetery workers. We really do have a diverse workforce. And the Enneagram is a tool that resonates with nearly all types of people that work at Port Stephens Council. So I'd be very happy to try and provide my name and support or in further inquiries from anyone who may want to pursue the benefits of the Enneagram in any organisation, because in our organisation I can say they have been substantial.
During this series, we'll be hearing from each of the personality types, all of whom work or have worked for Port Stephens Council. Here are just a few examples of how the Enneagram has helped them in their personal and professional lives, and particularly how it has improved relationships and performance in the workplace.
What I've seen at Port Stephens with the Enneagram being part of our leadership and management and just people management process is that by everyone having an understanding of what they are and how they operate first, they're able to then work on themselves and have a bit of a personal victory in how they operate. It's only then when you've understood yourself and had a personal victory that you're able to be successful outside of yourself and have a public victory. And I think that's where the Enneagram adds a lot of value to our organisation. We are able to, as individuals, those that have been trained and had time to understand themselves as a personality type, they're able to reflect and improve themselves with the view of understanding and improving other people and helping other people be the best they can be. So that's what I think it's done for Port Stephens Council. It's given us a management and a leadership team that is genuinely desiring of becoming better people before they become better managers.
And in the world of local government, that's quite progressive, isn't it?
Well, for me, being a 20-year stalwart, to me that's normal. I haven't seen many other examples of local government except for Port Stephens, and that's by choice. That's because this feels like the best place to be.
Here at Council, we've now had 500 people who've actually attended Enneagram workshops or have been typed, and it doesn't matter whether we're working with someone from the senior leadership team or a group of construction workers. Everyone has just really embraced the knowledge of the Enneagram, and to allow them to better understand themselves and others. And it's also been a really valuable tool, as I spoke earlier, about the career development aspects of people by helping them to make much better informed decisions about their career directions. From an organisation perspective, I've really seen the evidence of how it's improved our leadership. It's improved the conversations and the communications within the organisation, and certainly has built teamwork.
It's just about understanding other people, how they respond, and trying to get the best out of them. And without understanding other people, if you try and get your filter onto everybody else, it's not going to be a happy place. It's about understanding how people work, how they respond to a situation, and tailoring yourself like a chameleon, because threes can be a chameleon, is tailoring yourself to ensure that they're in a happy space, their expectations are being met, and that they're all achieving the goals that the organisation would like us to achieve.
Such type 3 language
it
there.
Is.
What, just as an addition, Port Stephens Council using this tool over the last decade, quite progressive in the local government sector. What are your thoughts on that?
When I find like-minded people who understand the Enneagram, and then they find out that I work in local government, they go, okay, that's quite different, that the organisation will take us through some of the tools that we've been through. My understanding from local government and other industries, they'll go through the traditional other personality profiling types, but not to the depth that we go through here, and especially since we've learnt about Enneagrams and what it actually means for you. Again, it's not just about work, it's about your personal growth and about your family growth as well.
And what do you think that's saying about Port Stephens Council as an organisation and looking after its people?
People are the most important thing. I know we get busy with doing things, but technically and in reality, people are the most important thing in this organisation. And taking care of your people means you're taking care of the organisation.
It's about making sure that we constantly reflect on our own behaviours. It's about learning how we all are. It's about self-mastery. You know, you need to understand yourself, what it is that makes you tick, but also other people. It's about being careful not to put people in a box. You know, I've had, people who I think have a very unethical view of the Enneagram who say, you're a type 6, so therefore you worry, and I'm not going to deal with you because you're always worrying. That's not what it's about. It's actually so many layers to it. And once you start unpeeling those, it's absolutely fascinating about what makes us tick under different situations, and, being able to understand how other people operate, so that my style with, say, a type 7 who I've got in the team, is not to constantly follow them up and say, where's it at, where's it at? They'll deliver it. I've got others in the team who prefer more direction and, come and ask me tomorrow and I'll give you the answer. So it depends on where you're at, and relationships are so important to me. At the end of the day, I can't control what other people do, but I can control what learning I put in place to try and manage those relationships.
And from an organisational perspective, a tool like the Enneagram that can do what for an organisation?
I think it can help us come together better. It can help us work together better. At the end of the day, we're here for, a fair whack of our lives, and if we understand that we all bring strengths to a situation, so if you look at all of the players in the Enneagram, they're all required to help problem solve. To come up with an idea, to help pull it apart, to get to the detail, to bring the people along, to have the courage to go out there, to drive it. Everyone's got a place in that. And the more we understand that, the better we can be.
And do you think that working with a cohort of people that understand and know the Enneagram, that must be an incredible experience?
Oh,
you're all
fabulous.
talking the same language,
Yes.
I would assume.
Yeah.
And so how has that helped in the workplace?
So the stronger relationships we have are those with those people who do talk that way and understand and put a mirror up first with themselves rather than you're a this and you're a that. It's, oh gosh, that's how I've just reacted. I might need to sort of rethink that. And so the conversation is really good. There's some people whose understanding is very basic, and it'd be great to evolve that, where they're still at the point of you're a 3 and you're a 6 and you're an 8. We're not our numbers. What we are is what sits behind it, what our trigger points are, what our fight or flight or whatever it might happens to us. And the more we understand that with each other, the better we are.
Overall, I've witnessed better relationships, just in relation to that whole awareness around knowing ourselves and each other a lot better, and obviously the knowledge of the Enneagram. I think learning the 9 different points of view has really helped us to understand people's motivations, their behaviours, their needs and concerns, and also their style of working and relating. That's been really important. I think we really, as an organisation now, we appreciate and value the diversity of types within teams and across the organisation. And I've seen a lot of improvement in staff interactions, communication, teamwork, productivity, performance, decision making, right across the board. And I think finally for me, just on a personal note and maybe as a leader within the organisation, the increase in self-awareness has been key. I think the knowledge of the Enneagram has really, it keeps me constantly, or I guess it enables me to challenge those sort of hardwired, habitual patterns of thinking and feeling and behaving. So yeah, it's just been a wonderful tool all round.
What an amazing group of people making a difference in this workplace. Join us and discover more about each of the 9 Enneagram personality types as we share personal journeys, observations and insights.